Today, a sailor comes in to me and says, I really want to get a treatment, but I'm not too sure what I should get. I don't know if I'm pregnant or not, and I don't want to find out if I'm pregnant until I get home to take a pregnancy test with my husband. And I says, well, have you been trying? And she says, yes, we've been trying for 6 years. And lately I got bad news. I'm a nurse and I lost one of my patients. And so I've been pretty stressed out. And so my husband encouraged me to go away for a couple of days to just kind of like relax. And so I asked to feel her pulse. And in Chinese medicine, we have a way of being able to detect if a person is pregnant by feeling their pulse and also by asking questions. And we were able to identify, if it's going to be a boy or a girl. So the gender is revealed in the pulse. So I felt for her pulse. I felt for her left side first, and it was very weak. I had to go pretty deep in order to feel the characteristics of the pulse. And I really didn't feel much. It was slippery, but it wasn't very strong. So I checked the right side, and the right side was very strong, very rapid, and almost like a double pulse. And in Chinese medicine, slippery, rapid are clear indications of pregnancy in Chinese medicine. It's very different, it's very distinct to other characteristics that we are looking for in the Chinese pulse. Now, the Chinese pulse can be found on the radial side of the wrist, and we feel in 3 different areas. We feel in the upper jowl, the middle jowl, and the lower jowl. And we're feeling for the vitality of the organs in these jowls. So as I'm feeling, and I didn't even have to press very deep, I can feel on a very shallow level that the pulse was slippery, rapid, and almost double. It's like, it just felt like a double pulse. And I said to her, you probably want to take a pregnancy test, and if you're going to get a massage, I would just recommend like a Swedish massage, but absolutely no acupuncture. She was only about 7 weeks along in her pregnancy, and I was able to detect this. Well, she went down to medical and got a pregnancy test just to be for sure, and lo and behold, she's pregnant. Now, because I checked the pulse on the right side and her pulse was more strong on the right side versus the left, my next diagnostics prediction would mean that she is having a girl. On the left side, if the pulse is slippery and rapid, it indicates that it's a boy. And on the right side, if the pulse is slippery and rapid, it indicates that it's a girl. Now, I'm not a gynecological, Chinese medicine doctor, but I do have some, practices in women's health. When it comes to feeling the pulse in Chinese medicine, and especially in pregnancy, I have felt a few pulses, but I haven't felt like a ton. So I'm very surprised at my diagnosis, but I'm also very surprised at how blatantly obvious the body is at telling us these signs and symptoms of our health. And our Chinese pulse is just one of those signs and symptoms. So if you're curious and you're wondering if you're pregnant and you'd like to get first Chinese medicine opinion, or you're too afraid to get a pregnancy test, or you're not ready to get a pregnancy test, but there's an acupuncturist standing right there before you, ask them to check your pulse. Chances are they might be able to predict whether or not you're pregnant, and they can probably give you an idea if you're going to have a girl or a boy.